Good day, everyone. I wanted to just go over something about the trike. I've been having some issues with my phone. I've got an old iPhone 7 and it dies after about an hour and a half. The battery is not as good as it used to be. It's getting a little bit long in the tooth. And so I use it on the trike, and I usually have it mounted at the front. I've got a locking mechanism, quad lock, and so I use that to lock it onto the front of the bike, on the trike, and the bikes for that matter. And so I need to charge it while I'm using it. And so I could always put my Relibo in my pocket and charge it with a cable to it, and hope that it doesn't get caught up in the chains and all that sort of thing while I'm on the Recumbent. That's where the issue is, on the Recumbent. So anyway, I've come up with an idea of how to do this. So I'm going to go through that with you now. On the bottom, to protect my iPhone, it's an iPhone 7 by the way, it's a pretty old one, but it works. So I don't replace things until I have to. I'm not keeping up with the Joneses or anything like that. I can't afford to do that anymore. There was a time I could, but I can't anymore. So anyway, so we use these little magnetic ones, and with the magnetic cables, of course. They're tough little cables too. I've got one here in the office as well, and to show you how that works, just that I can put the phone on charge in here as well. This is the other end. That's magnetic too, and that just clips onto that. So, but what these do, and the reason that I got them, is because I was having difficulty with the connectors in here because it collects dirt. Dirt gets in there, and you've got to keep it clean, and that's not so easy all the time. Usually they've got little plugs and covers and things like that, but it's a pain in the rear end. They break off, and you wind up getting dirt in there. So, and that's what happened to me, and so I decided to go to these instead. And so that just pops in there like that, and then that connects to the device, and it starts to charge straight away. I want to take the Relibo and put it into a container. So, and these are ideal, but they're airtight, watertight. So watertight is really good. Airtight I'm not so sure about, particularly if I'm going to be housing this Relibo in the container. So what I did is I've modified the container just a little bit by putting some, I'll just put that Relibo down for a moment. I put some access holes in, access for the USB to go through, and I've drilled a few other little holes in it around the sides, so that, and just under the lip, so that it's getting air in there, but it's not going to allow the weather in. It's going to be under the seat anyway, so I'll be on top of it. And yes, dirt and weather and things can get in through these holes, and I'll put a couple of bigger ones down at the bottom here for some zip ties to go through, so that I could tie it to the frame of the Recumbent. However, I've decided not to tie it on the frame of the Recumbent with zip ties because I've got a snug place to put it, which I'll take you and show you in a few moments. I wanted to show you how this works. I've got a little USB cable here with me, because it is a snug fit. It's very snug, and so all I've got to do is make sure that I have the front lined up with. But now, because it's a snug fit, I need to put it in level. I can't be putting it in like this or like this, because I'll have difficulty with it. So I have to put it in and keep it fairly level as I'm putting it in. And it is a very snug fit. Keeping the strap on it too, because that makes it a little bit easier to remove it from this container just by pulling it out like that. Now the other thing, before I put it in and show you it all together, I needed to make sure that I made that hole big enough to fit the USB cable through, so that I could make sure that I had a good seating. Okay, so let's put this in here. I'll put that in at the level that you can see. Put that in, it's nice and snug. That in there, it'll make putting the lid on a little bit tighter, a little bit harder, but we take our USB plug and put that in, and you can see that that works quite well. That's in there quite nicely. And then what I do with this wrist strap is I just roll that up on there to keep it within the confines of the container. Put the lid on. Now this is, as I said, it's snug. There we go. That's one side clipped on. That's the other side clipped on. So there we go. It's nice and well housed within the container, and I will put this on the trike in a moment and show you how that works. The other thing that I wanted to do is put my extension pole, and that is, as you can see, that is quite long. That's my extension pole. Because I've actually bent this. I was out cycling and I was taking some video with my FeiyuTech camera. That's it in its little pocket, in its little housing. So I was using that, and I put it down on the seat of the Recumbent to do something, and then I went back and I sat down before I realized, and I bent it, which is not a good thing, you know. So this is an Insta 360 stick, and I got the Insta 360 stick. I don't have the Insta 360, I just have the stick, because it comes with a belt that this fastens to on the back, and you can use it on your body for when you're walking around, and it's fastened to the back. It's like a weightlifter's belt, and it screws onto that, and you can have your camera on that, and you can walk around, and you're hands free basically, and that's what I wanted to be able to do. So I got that, and I really love this pole because it is nice and long. I would say that's about 1 meter long. Yeah, that's about 1 meter long, if not more. So that suits me down to the ground. I can put a tripod on that end, and my camera goes on this end, of course. But as I said, I bent it. So what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to put this somewhere on the trike. So if I'm not using the camera, I can put it where it's easily accessible, and where it's not going to be in my way. I'll show you what I've done. I've put a clip on next to the water bottle. It's a hand pump clip, and I made sure that it was that diameter there, that it would hold a pump of that diameter, so I can just clip that into it with the camera on, and it won't be an issue. So I'm going to be recording with this camera, so I'll use the FeiyuTech, because I'm using the DJI to do the recording at the moment, because this is the first recording that I'm doing with it, by the way, and because I want to see how it records and how well it behaves. So just taking this FeiyuTech out, and we're going to put that on there, and it's a great little camera, this. Now I wound up, I don't know, you can probably see that it's not straight. It's got a bend in it, so that's unfortunate, and I don't want to try and straighten that, because I could do more damage than good. Okay, as I was saying, I've got this bend in here because I sat on it. So what I want to do is I want to be able to put this somewhere on the trike where I won't sit on it, where it will be out of the way and protected as well. Anyway, let's go and show you how I resolve these issues on the trike. Okay, here we go. This is now my little green speed, of course, my X5, Rita, I call her. And so I'll show you what I've done here. For the camera, I've put some spacers, and I've just used washers at this point in time so that I can adjust that height on the front of the water bottle holder, so that I could put that little pump holder in there, which will fit this quite nicely actually. So you can see my blue cable there. Now that blue cable is going to fit into this little container, which the little container and there's my Velcro strap. So pull the Velcro strap out of the way and plug in, before I put it in place, plug in my little charger. And get this in place. And that's as I said before, that's a very, very snug fit, that. So you can actually hear it clip in there. And that's on the seat, and that's pretty firm in there. So I'll grab my Velcro strip, take it around, put it over the top, because it's just to hold it there so that it doesn't, if it pops off, that it's not going to just fall off, you know, and I'm going to lose it, or that it's going to get damaged in any way, because these things, all of these things cost a bit of money. So that's on there. I've got my little cable there, which if I push that out of the way, you can see what's going on there. And then here's my FeiyuTech on my Insta 360, and that just fits in there. It's quite a snug little fit, and I've just turned that on accidentally, so I'll turn it off again. But I've got some room with it. So there we go, and that's clipped in quite nicely, and that gives me a little bit of room all around. That's quite tight now, and so this also has a little strap on it that I can pull around and tighten there to hold it in place if I need to. Oh, I'm having a bit of difficulty getting this on. There we go. And I'm free all the way up at the top. Let me bring this around so we can see. So I'm free here. I've got plenty of room all the way around there. So I've just got to watch what I do with that, I guess. So yeah, so I've got somewhere to put that, and we've got the cable in place, and you can see my blue cable runs up here, and I have a magnetic piece on it, which I have on the phone as well, so I can actually put that there to keep that fairly taut, so that it's not going to get tangled up in chains and sprockets and pedals and that sort of thing. But you can see the quad lock there, so let's get the phone onto that, and on she goes. And then what I want to do is, if I'm going to be charging up, I just put my little charger on there, and there we go, it's on, and as you can see, it's charging the phone. And not only that, but through the lid I can see what I've got left on the power pack. So the power pack is at 99% there, and it's charging the phone at the moment. Take that off, put that back on too. It just keeps it out of the way if I keep it on the body like that and keep it fairly taut, so that the cable's not going to get caught up in anything. So because the last thing I want is to have cable getting caught up in my chain or in the pedals. So that's that. And as you can see, I've got plenty of room, plenty of clearance all the way around. Even if I come back down here to the back, the lighting is not all that crash hot in here at the moment, but you can see that that it's out of the way there. And I have another one back here. This is where that's my kit, puncture kit, and my pump would go on there. It's on the other bike at the moment. One other thing, I have this extension arm, and that is for a GoPro, and it's for this one that I've got on the front of the bike, the trike rather, here at the moment. So it's a handy little thing. I got the idea of this from Ryan Van Duzer, who makes fantastic videos of his travels all over the place, and he's a great motivator speaker as well, so you should follow him. He's really, really good. I sometimes put this on the back of other trikes, which I'll probably do with Gary's trike. Put that on the back of his trike, and yeah, because we're going for a ride on Tuesday, and that's going to be fantastic. Please share this far and wide, because I'd like to get a few more subscribers, although it's not about the subscribers, but I would like to reach a slightly larger audience. And I'm telling my story about my life, basically, about where I am. I've had a pretty extraordinary life, and I've been a beggar on the streets to a millionaire, and so I've had nothing and had it all and then lost it all. So I'm not a beggar on the streets anymore, but I'm no longer a millionaire, I can assure you of that. So yeah, and it was hard work that got me the money, and it circumstance and a perfect storm caused me to lose it all. So the perfect storm was that my health failed, and anyway, it's a long story, and I have given it parts of it in the intro to my webpage and other parts, so I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm on a whole food plant-based diet, and that along with prayer, and I always give glory to God, because without God I wouldn't be here, and so that's where we're at. And really, that's it for this week. I just wanted to show you some of the things that I'm doing to make life a little bit easier for myself, because I am thoroughly enjoying this riding the Recumbent. I love riding motorcycles, bicycles, recumbents, and actually the Recumbent is a new experience for me, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So please share this with everyone, whether you like it or not. And if you do like it, subscribe, click the like button, and ring the bell so that you're notified whenever I do post something. Till next time, take care. God bless. Bye.